Good afternoon and welcoming you to Oregon News. I'm Nick Nathaniels. Thanks, Ryan. Coming up on Oregon News, postseason play is here. Hello and welcome to the first edition of Duck TV Evening News. I'm Nick Nathaniels here with Kate Houston. Good evening and welcome to Duck TV News. I'm Nick Nathaniels. Coming up on Duck TV News, one professor works to create equality in the field of media. Coming up on Duck TV Evening News, if you're looking for a job on campus, you might be in luck. Plus, the Oregon Ducks baseball and softball teams continue to dominate the Diamonds. The atmosphere couldn't have been better Thursday night. A packed pit crew, a televised game on ESPN, and the legend Bill Walton in attendance. With the win, the Ducks would put a cap to the perfect night. But could they do it against the visiting UCLA Bruins? Now check out Johnny Lloyd rocking the Rip Hamilton mask. Then Norman Powell, nice feed inside to Tony Park, who flushes it home, bringing the Bruins within 2. Powell again in transition, buckle up, because Flight 4 is cleared for landing, up high and down hard. Bruins up 65-63, but Joe Young, pretty and one. Ducks cut the lead to 2. Late in the second half, Anderson finding the backdoor cutter, Adams, Bruins up by 2. Now last chance for Lloyd as he pushes it up the floor, and no dice. Rejection. Anderson, UCLA, your winner in a nail-biter, 70-68. The Oregon Ducks baseball team began its series with Washington State last night at PK Park with a chance to break a 3-way tie for 4th in the Pac-12. And the Ducks made a statement in Game 1. Star Wars night at PK Park, good old-fashioned lightsaber duel. The force is strong with those two. And so with Tommy Thorpe for Oregon as he gets a strikeout here. He recorded 8 on the day in 7 innings that he pitched. Then, in the bottom of the 4th, A.J. Balta goes over the wall for a 2-run homer as the Ducks lead early 8-0. Then 1 inning later, Sean Whammer Chase doing what he does best and knocks it out of the park to push the lead to 9 runs. Oregon would go on to win 11-1 thanks in large part to 3 Cougar errors. Welcome back. I'm Nick Nathaniels with this week's sports update. After securing the top seed in the NCAA tournament, the Pac-12 champion Ducks continue their pursuit of a championship, and the journey starts in their own backyard. Oregon will host an NCAA regional for the 2nd year in a row. First pitch begins at 2 when Albany takes on Wisconsin, followed by Oregon facing Utah Valley at 5 o'clock. The Ducks played Utah Valley twice earlier this year, defeating them 8-0 and 5-4. Head coach Mike White, who was recently awarded the Pac-12 Coach of the Year, previews the upcoming matchup.
Right now it's 2 teams playing each other. The game doesn't know one's 64 and one's 1. It's just a matter of us coming out and playing like we should. Great end of 3 phases of the game. Defense, pitching, and hitting. We know that it's not the best team that wins; it's the team that plays the best on the day.
Pac-12 Pitcher of the Year Sheridan Hawkins and first-team Pac-12 Janie Takeda says the experience of playing in a regional a year ago will help propel and land the Ducks past the regional rounds and into the College World Series in Oklahoma.
I think that experience is really helpful just, because we have been to a regional like this. We know what it's like, and we can explain it to Nikki and the other freshmen, this is what it feels like. Yeah, you're going to feel nervous. You're going to be happy. You're going to be excited. You're going to feel all those emotions, and that's okay because we're feeling that too,
It's been one of those moments in softball that stayed with me the most, I think. It was such a high winning Super Regionals my freshman year, and last year it was very heartbreaking, to say the least. I mean, I think about it often because, that feeling still hasn't gone away, and we definitely don't want to feel that again.
So here's a final look at the draw. Regionals start this afternoon and continue to the 18th. The tournament is a double elimination with only 1 winner advancing to the Super Regionals. Now, if the Ducks prevail over Utah Valley, they would face the winner of the Wisconsin-Albany matchup. Wisconsin returns to familiar surroundings when they lost the Ducks 3-0 in the Eugene Regional a year ago. But don't overlook the Great Danes. Yes, the Albany Great Danes, 1 out from elimination, rallied to win the America East Softball Championship. Oregon has not faced them before, and should Oregon advance out of this draw, they would host an NCAA Super Regional the following week. Games will be televised on the Pac-12 network, and you can follow them on KWVA Campus Radio. The first 150 students to arrive at the games each day will receive free admission courtesy of the athletic department. From the circle to the mound, Oregon baseball is on the road for the final time this weekend. After their dominant 14-run performance against Pacific, the Ducks travel to Southern California to take on the UCLA Bruins in a 3-game series, which starts tonight at 7 on Pac-12 Network. Both teams have been battered with injuries and inconsistency, but Coach Horton believes that despite the setbacks, the Ducks are capable of a victory.
You're playing the defending national champions on their home turf, and I understand it's supposed to be really warm down there. So we have done fairly well at UCLA in the last couple of trips down there, and maybe this will be the one that we can build on, that we finally get to play well in a Pac-12 road series.
A lot of anticipation in the world of Oregon sports as we head into the weekend, but Chelsea, is the sun here to stay, or will the rain make its return? Salsa and Spice heated the Vets Ballroom as the salsa community gathered together in Eugene to kick off the first annual Salsa Festival. Last weekend, Eugene became the new hotspot for salsa dancing. The first annual Salsa Festival featured dance lessons, live music, and famous performers from the salsa world. Sponsors like the Salseros Dance Company, University of Oregon groups, and nationally acclaimed salsa dance champions Benny and Brendan Ayala came together to create the weekend's entertainment.
In general, in Oregon, the community is not as big as you would think, like in LA or New York or Vegas, all those places in the nation. And I think it helps to generate more of a public, and so they can understand the music, which is, it's not just like what you think in the movies or like all the media or like concerts that you see. It's like actual, it's a really different art form from what people would think of it.
The Eugene is a college town. It doesn't lack in expanding diversity. This event served as a cultural celebration for many people to participate in Latino heritage.
This is not something that we have here, unfortunately, all the time. And so to be able to have that privilege to host this here is something that, that folks should participate in.
First-timers and salsa fanatics like UO alumni Justin Pratt talked about the global salsa community. Bands from all over the Pacific Northwest were in attendance.
Because it adds culture to Eugene, and it brings people from all over the place. I mean, the salsa community is a traveling community. People come from Atlanta, people come from Mexico, people come from Portland. It brings a huge, diverse crowd in from other places.
Though this is the first annual Salsa Festival, the sponsors are hopeful to bring the event back next year. The Beat goes on every Friday night from 10 to 2. Beginner classes start at 9 and admission is free. To learn more about the upcoming event and to get involved, visit the Salseros Dance Company's webpage. Fear, confusion, disbelief, heroism, generosity. Natural responses to a natural disaster. I'm standing at the peak of Skinner Butte, and behind me in the foreground, you can see Autzen Stadium, but in the background, you can see what local geologists are calling a potential hazard for a landslide, and that's the Coburg Hills. LIDAR readings suggest that this area has an activity within the past 200 years, but experts say, don't panic, but be prepared. Yet it's easy for people to dismiss these natural disasters. Most landslides are relatively harmless, and the fatal ones happen too infrequently. According to Josh Roaring, a University of Oregon professor of geology, there are stark differences between the Oso mudslide and the potential of a Coburg Hills landslide.
We don't have that ingredient of glaciers damming rivers and creating big piles of sediments and lake deposits that are really, really weak. So that valley in Washington is a really bad sort of configuration of events. But we do have, these hills and mountains around us that are prone to landsliding, but just not as frequent and as likely as that one in Washington.
Building a nationwide system is possible with present technology, according to Roaring, but would require tens of millions of dollars annually in years to pass legislation, which is seen as impractical.
And so when you talk about the list of deadly landslides, the devil's advocate would say, well, look at the history of our country. This is the third worst. How much money should we spend if it happens this infrequently and causes, a much smaller amount of deaths than horrible diseases and terrorism and other things?
And as of now, there is no state or national system that tracks threats from landslides. For Oregon News, I'm Nick Nathaniels. Thanks, Ronald. Let's take a look at what we have coming up this weekend. Not the type of weather I'm sure the girls are experiencing down in Azusa. No flips, no turns as far as weather is concerned, just your average clouds and rain. Starting with Eugene, Friday we're looking at high 50s and low 60s with 80% chance of showers throughout the day. Don't be surprised to hear a thunderstorm later this afternoon. Moving into the weekend, more of the same, 90% chance of rain with a low of 42. South to southwest winds about 11 to 14 miles per hour with gusts as high as 23. So it's going to be a great day to go outside. If you like your spring showers, bring that shampoo and don't forget that bar of soap. And Sunday, it's mostly cloudy with a low of 41. Now moving up I-5 north into Portland, no surprises here. It's going to be rain, and you guessed it, more rain. Could be some hail, but it's very unlikely. The Blazers definitely looking to rain in some threes tonight, and fans could be singing in the rain if those Blazers can pull out a W later this evening. Saturday, the rain will subside, only to come back later all the way till the end of the weekend, so expect some showers up until next week. Moving west to the coast, expect similar weather from the Portland metro area. Only difference is here. Winds up, temperatures down. 55 is your high throughout the weekend. 90% chance of precipitation Saturday night, so expect your 3-day dose of rain and showers for the coast up until the start of the weekend where we start to see some clouds. On the Josephine and Douglas counties, chance of storm Friday, high of 57 and a low of 37. Saturday, we see a little bit of rain, winds up to 11 miles per hour. Sunday, more showers, but still potential low of 39. Still chilly, so keep those jackets and heaters at hand. It's not till Monday do we really see the sun rise and clear skies. Finally, to Bend, Friday night, a chance of rain, showers before midnight, then a slight chance of rain and snow showers, mostly cloudy through with a low of 28. Saturday, we get some contrast, but nothing to write home about. The clouds will part for some sunshine, but only with a high in the mid-50s. Closing off the weekend, Sunday is your chance of showers at 50% with cloudy skies. All right, that's your weekend forecast. Take it away, Rick. If you've ever struggled to learn a foreign language, a group at the University of Oregon may be able to help practice your skills. The language circles at the Mills International Center focus on improving speaking skills for non-native speakers. They provide a space for students to practice languages, and groups meet from 4 to 6 on Mondays and feature 10 different groups, including English, Spanish, French, and German, among others. Circles typically have 5 to 10 attendees, and the circles are led by students who are part of the International Cultural Service Program. Language circles are not limited to students, and as Carolina Arredondo suggests, that is what makes these circles so invaluable.
Learn Spanish, but they are not enrolled in classes here at the U of O, or they don't know any Spanish, and they just want to see how is the language, or also people outside of the community, they come and practice Spanish sometimes.
A local group is set on building Conestoga huts with the help of volunteers in the community and one family in particular. Eric and Faye DeBur are creating advanced shelters for homeless individuals in Eugene and Springfield through community-supported shelters. The huts are made out of plywood, aluminum, and plastic, and on an average take an hour and a half to complete. They are located in parking lots and behind churches in Eugene and Springfield. The camps made from these huts are stabilizing the lives of homeless people.
The group is really integrated like a community, like maybe a sorority is, or like a family, and that's like the best thing about it, is it's creating family and support for people that wouldn't otherwise have it.
Only slightly bigger than a common tent, the Conestoga huts are transforming the image of homeless living conditions. It was here on the 3rd floor of the Knight Library that Elia Pritchard had a strange encounter with a man asking her to examine her feet for sports medicine studies. I guess you never know what's afoot in the Knight Library. For Duck TV News, I'm Nick Nathaniels. Facebook users, look for a blue cartoon dinosaur popping up on your account in the next few weeks. Yesterday, the social media giant announced it would improve its privacy settings. The university community is expressing its frustration over the way the administration has responded to the sexual assault investigation of 3 Oregon men's basketball players. Let's talk beer. Growlers, the new drinking trend in Eugene, offers a bulk alternative to stocking up on beer by filling 32 to 64-ounce cases from the tap. Reporter Chelsea Fulmer has more on the trend and its other effect on drinking communities. Holistic health programs have been gaining popularity among the UO student body over the past school year. Benefits of holistic healing include lowering stress, which helps students become healthier in both the short and long term. The university provides multiple programs ranging from acupuncture to yoga. And now turning to sports, baseball prepares for its tough Civil War matchup while softball heads south to face Stanford. Ronald Clark and Adam Vong preview what to expect. According to a recent study by the U.S. Census Bureau for Eugene and Lane County, the percentage of single women with children is at 60%, which is almost twice the national average. The category includes women who are widowed or divorced and women who are never married. For more information and to learn how to support the project, visit the Eugene Green Alley Project Facebook page. Thanks again for tuning in for this episode of Duck TV News. I'm Nick Nathaniels. And that's all we have for you tonight. Thanks for joining us. I'm Nick Nathaniels.
Well, that wraps up our first episode of Duck TV Evening News. We hope you join us again next week. I'm Kate Houston.
And I'm Nick Nathaniels. Have a good night.